We are here with Raquel Neal. She is running for Troup County School System Board. Raquel, thank you for being with us.
Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity, Kim.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I am, first of all, a mom of 6 children. I have 5 grandchildren and have been a resident of Troup County for the last 33 plus years. I sell real estate, 26 years in real estate, which I love. That's what I get to do for a living. And I've been a member of Faith Baptist Church for 26 years as well, where I've taught middle school girls Sunday school, which is dear to my heart for the past 15 years. I love our community. I feel like I'm a native Troup Countyan now. I did not grow up here. I grew up in Clayton County near the Atlanta airport in a big old pond. But it's nice to be a somewhat medium-sized fish in a small pond like Troup County. So I love it.
Well, wonderful. Tell us a little bit about what and why did you decide to run for school board?
In raising my children and in teaching middle school girls in Sunday school for the last 15 or so years, I really have a heart for students, for our country's children, especially in the middle school years. I've realized that is a very crucial time in their development and a time in their life where they decide who they're going to identify with, what road they're going to take. Are they going to excel? Are they going to make wise choices? Or are they going to maybe get in with the wrong people? And so I really got a burden for our young people when my daughters were middle school aged. And that's when I started teaching middle school girls at Faith Baptist Church. And I also began substitute teaching because I had children for the first time in the public school system because I had previously had children in private education. So I wanted a hands-on view of what goes on in the public school and in the classroom, and I got it. So fast forward to now, my children are grown. I have grandchildren, and I believe COVID was a wake-up call for a lot of people.
Right.
During COVID, I saw the burden that was placed on a lot of moms, especially, to homeschool their children. And I realized that, not everyone has the ability financially to send their child to a private Christian or private school. And not every mom or dad can stay home and teach their child at home. The majority of the children in America are in our public school system. And those kids are going to grow up to be adults one day, and they're the future of our nation. And I know it sounds cliche, but when I say our children are our future, I really, really mean it.
Yeah.
Because I know, because girls that I taught 15 years ago in Sunday school, that's one day a week for an hour and a half. They are now grown with families of their own. And I have been able to see physically in their life things that were planted in my Sunday school classroom come to fruition in their life as adults. And that's just a small portion of time compared to the amount of time our students are in the classroom. They're in the classroom longer than they're at home, longer than they're asleep. That classroom is the predominating influence on our children's life from kindergarten to graduation. It's vitally important. So that's why I'm running for the school board. I plan on collaborating with the other board members and other social services in our community to help our children be as successful as they can be, because they're our future workforce of our community.
Right. Right.
So,
our youth are definitely our future.
yes.
Do you expect excellence in our school system, and how do you propose to get there?
I do expect excellence. Nobody's ever perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. And nothing has ever arrived. I've never arrived. You've never arrived. No system or organization has ever arrived. There's always room for improvement. And that's part of growing and being and becoming is improving. So, yes, I believe that let's say it's in the striving for excellence that the excellence is found.
Right.
So, yes.
Right. And helping for each child to be challenged to reach their full potential.
That's exactly right.
What is your opinion? Because all children don't learn the same. Some need more hands-on.
Yes.
Some want to be in the classroom. Some like reading, but children learn in different ways. So what is your opinion of charter schools versus how to accomplish diverse learning environments in the school system the way it is now without charter schools.
Okay, as far as charter schools, I have heard that question, and I've not done a lot of research on that yet, although I plan to. I know that Think Academy is set up similar to a charter school in that it is under the umbrella of the Troup County school system, but it's heavily funded by Kia and other corporate entities, and it's focused more on career-based learning to propel those students into the workforce. And I don't see why we can't look at that down the road as a board and talk about that. However, I do believe that we have such a great asset at our fingertips with our public schools in Troup County. And I was looking over the strategic plan from 2022 to 2025 that the current board put into effect. And it's a very lengthy plan, and I read it in detail. And I have to say, I was even critical. But once you get in there, I would encourage people to go to the Troup County School System website and look at the strategic plan and the budget, because there's a wealth of information there. And a lot of times we complain about things we don't understand or we don't know. So knowledge is power. But I'd have to say this current board has improved. They've done some work over the years. And, it even surprises me to say that, because I really didn't know much about the board. I just know that I care about our students and I want to help. I want to make a difference. I want to improve. I want to set the bar high so we can strive for that excellence. So when I looked at the strategic plan, I was able to see the progress that has been made over the past 2.5, 3 years or so. And I would love to build on that and put some new systems in place, some new programs in place so that we can excel even more, especially in reading and math, because we know those are the lowest levels in our county, and it's embarrassing, and it's not good for our children because they're our number one priority.
Right. And you said it as well. The future of Troup County is dependent on our Troup County school system. We've got 22,000 people driving into LaGrange and Troup County every day for employment. We want the people of LaGrange to, filling those positions. And so we need to be graduating students that can fill those positions. And it is how we come together as a community to really bring about excellence, and not just bring about, but expect excellence and want excellence. And so what is your opinion on collaboration? My opinion is the school system cannot do it on their own, or they already would have.
Right.
And it is 12,300 students, 1,900 employees. So how do you bring collaboration in the community from Troup County government, all the city governments, the Economic Development Authority? How do you bring them all together to the table in some type of structured way to create maybe initiatives that are brought about through the community for community health? What is your opinion on that type of collaboration?
Okay. I love collaboration. I believe that the school board, the board of commissioners, and the local domestic assistance organizations should come together. I have to tell you that I spoke with Sheriff Woodruff the other day, and we were talking about how I had some teachers. I've been interviewing teachers and meeting with administrators and, the tax commissioner, people, past board members. There's a wealth of knowledge to be had. And the number one thing that teachers have brought to my mind is the behavior in the classroom. And collaboration, the hands are tied. The old days when you and I were in school and they would paddle our rears and put us back out there and say, you better behave, or, I'm going to call your mama, and then your mama comes up there, so you get 2 whippings. Well, we can't really, those days are pretty much gone. What are you going to do? Paddle all the children? No. But behavior issues are the teacher's number one complaint. They're spending so much time trying to get the children to do what they're supposed to do and behave in a manner that's not disruptive, that it takes away from their instructional time. And of those 1,900 employees, Kendall, 800 of them are certified teachers. And that's a lot of teachers. But like you said, there's over 12,000, probably closer to 12,500 students. And so the collaboration, Right now, there are parent advisory councils that have been established in schools in our county, and not a lot of parents have known about these.
Right.
But I love it because that's collaboration, and it's collaboration at a level that the child immediately sees the result of it. Because as these teachers tell me about discipline problems, they share with me that a lot of parents aren't actively engaged or involved in the school. And that's not saying the parents are bad. It's just saying they send them to school and they trust the teacher. You deal with it.
Right.
Whereas if there's a parent advisory council and that student knows that their mom is going to meet with these other parents and these teachers and these administrators, they're more likely to behave in class. That's a collaboration worth working on. I think that's a very important place to collaborate. It's with the parents. That would help the behavior problem. Also, collaboration with the sheriff's department. Sheriff Woodruff, going back to him, he had mentioned to me that back during COVID, they enacted a handle with care policy. And I don't know if you've heard about this.
I have not.
I had not heard about it either. And this is where all these conversations and collaborations in the community really help bring people together because knowledge is power.
Right.
And if we want to make a difference and we want to work together, the first step is communication. So Sheriff Woodruff was sharing with me about handle with care. And I want to tell you what handle with care is. I love this because my heart is for our kids. Nothing is more important to me as far as people go than our children. Because like you said, and we can't say it enough, they are the future and they grow up to become adults, you know? So Sheriff Woodruff was telling me about handle with care. And he said what it is, they have a policy enacted in Troup County, whereas if a child comes from a domestic abuse situation or loses their grandmother or their dog gets ran over or DFACS has to go take that child out of their home in the middle of the night, that sheriff's officer is supposed to immediately, when there are minors in that home, they are supposed to contact that child's school administrator so that that teacher knows if that kid falls asleep in class or if they start crying for something silly, like somebody took their pencil and they fall apart because of it, the teacher knows, okay, little Johnny just lost his grandmother yesterday or was beat by his dad last night or his mother had to flee the home in the middle of the night or whatever situation. Handle with care says, let's treat this child a little different today. Let's show grace. Let's show mercy. Let's understand their heart.
Yes.
That's the number one collaboration.
Absolutely. And, you know, if parents could just reach out directly to their teachers and let them know
But
about
parents don't do that. But you're talking about as a society supporting our children and working together. That is the way to work together. So if we collaborate as educators and parents, bringing them together, we collaborate as educators and our law enforcement, bringing them together and looking past maybe the behavior all the time to the heart of the issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love that.
Yes.
I need to ask one question that's been a hot topic in the community. What is your opinion on eliminating the tax for seniors?
Okay. I love this question. I'm so glad you asked it. I did not know much about this either until about the last couple of years. I do realize that about 3.5 or 4 years ago, there was a group who came together, predominantly seniors, and they had requested that seniors be exempt from paying school taxes in Troup County. And I was not a part of that group. I really didn't know much about them or anything about them at all until recently. But I've done some research on that. And I do know that they made some progress. L6 in the code from the tax assessor's office was the progress they made. And it basically gives people over 62 a tax break up to $100,000, which is $40,000 because they only go on 40%. And it saves the average senior a little over $761 a year on their taxes. So if you're a senior and you're on a very limited income, there is a tax break. And I don't know how many seniors know about that, but I met with Shane Fraley not too long ago, and we talked about it. And he said that there are only 661 seniors in our county who are benefiting from that. But that's 661 seniors who are getting an over $700 a year tax break. because of their income level.
Okay.
I do know that if we're talking about being a community and sharing the load and taking care of our kids, I believe that we all have a responsibility to help pay for that. However, the older I get, I am approaching being a senior, every day. And there's a lot of uncertainty in our nation right now, and there has been a lot of uncertainty since COVID. People are scared, especially older people, even if they have a 401k or an IRA with a couple $100,000 or $1 million sitting in it, and they've got land and they've got a home. People don't trust the stock market. They don't trust our monetary system. Everybody's buying gold and silver and hoarding stuff away. So I can see both sides of the spectrum. I can understand why a senior would say, I've raised my children, I shouldn't have to pay school tax. Or I don't make enough money. Please don't make me have to choose between the light bill and groceries. So there were allowances made for that. There was progress made for that. So I would encourage seniors, people over 62, people approaching 65, reach out to the tax assessor's office, talk to Shane Fraley and the girls over there in the tax office, tell them what your income is, ask them if you can benefit from L6 or any of the other rules at the tax office that can help you get a tax break. In the meantime, I don't see why we can't build upon that foundation. And maybe because of the cost of living has gone up, inflation, it's costing people double the amount of income to live right now. So that amount is a low amount. That's below poverty level. Mm-hmm. So maybe let's work together over the next 4 to 5 years, raise that amount in $10,000 a year increments. And then let's talk to other school systems. I know that there are a couple of school systems who did give seniors 100% tax break on the school tax, and they regret they did it. They did it because they didn't know how to make up the money to cover that. And see, that's where we don't want to cost our children millions of dollars.
Right.
But there are other counties who have done it and figured out a way to do it. So let's bring the discussion to the table. Let's talk about maintaining and even raising teacher salaries even more, because, they just got a $2,000 raise, teachers did, which is a great thing. But let's talk about, we don't want our teachers to hurt. We don't want to cut money from our educators and administrators, but we do want to take care of our seniors. So I think there's more conversations to be had, and I'd love to be a part of that. I want a win-win or no deal.
Great. Well, thank you for the thoroughness.
You're welcome.
So I'd like you to take a minute or two and tell the public why they should vote for you, Raquel.
Okay. A vote for Raquel Neal is a vote, first of all, for our children. I truly, truly, truly believe that we are their voice and they are our future. I was thinking last night that our constituents, as school board members, as elected officials in our community, they're the only constituents out of all elected officials who can't vote for us. They're all under 18, most of them, unless they're seniors in high school. So we're elected by people who entrust us with their most valuable asset, and that's their kids. So number one, I'll be a voice for our children. And number two, I want to be an ear for our educators. No one knows more about what goes on in that classroom and how the curriculums are carried out in the classroom other than the 800 plus or minus certified teachers who are in those classrooms day in and day out. We need to listen to them. They can help us understand curriculum. They can help us understand behavior problems. And that makes it easier for us to go to point 3, collaboration with the parents. So in an effort to make our children better, I want to be a voice for the children, an ear for the educators, and a heart for the parents. And last but not least, it's been chic for people to be anti-America. I am a constitutionalist, Christian, conservative. I believe in our Constitution. I believe in inalienable rights, which means they are God-given, which means God has given them to us and no man can take them away, of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for everyone, no matter what their economic status is or what the color of their skin is. I believe that pledging to the flag, loving our country, and being proud to be American is something our children need to be taught again, and that is not a bad word. So a vote for me is a vote for America now and for our future.
I want to thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.